Hello guys, it's Johnny time and welcome to another DeFi tutorial. Today I'm going to show you in this video how you can generate around 85% APR on Bitcoin, wrap Bitcoin of course, and 350% APR on Ethereum. So if you have Bitcoin and Ethereum and you don't leverage the opportunities in DeFi, you are missing out, because literally right now in 2024, DeFi is printing money. The volume is back, the incentives and the rewards are back in yield farming. And here in this channel, I'm gonna share some of these strategies with you. So if you don't know me, my name is Johnny and I'm a smart contract security developer and hacker. So I'm aware of all of these hacks and this risk. I've been here through the previous DeFi summer. I lost money in Terra Luna, Terra UST, and I'm PTSD from the previous cycle, and yet I'm deploying capital into these protocols because I have a different risk assessment strategy when it comes to deploying capital into DeFi protocol that is based on my previous experience of the previous cycle and my knowledge and experience in smart contract security, hacking and auditing. And by the way, if you want to learn how I am doing this risk assessment and what is my strategy in this bull market for DeFi, check out this video that you see down there of how I approach the markets right now with my experience and expertise. And if you enjoy this content, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more amazing tutorials about DeFi and smart contract security. Now, without further ado, let's get started. Now, this strategy that I'm gonna show you today is pure alpha and it's something that I'm using myself. So I'm just sharing my experience and I'm generating yield on Bitcoin and Ether just like that. Now, we are going to use Uniswap version 3 pools, which is concentrated liquidity. And if you do not understand what concentrated liquidity are, I will leave an amazing video in the description below so you can understand them better. But you need some knowledge in DeFi in order to take advantage of this strategy and to understand what I'm talking about basically. So I will do a quick recap about concentrated liquidity so you understand what we are talking about. So in concentrated liquidity, you can add liquidity to two tokens. It's called a pair also. It could be ETH, BTC, USDT, BNB. And you can see these pairs have fees. So when people swap from the token, one token to another, the liquidity providers, which is you, market maker, are getting those fees. So this is 0.3% fees pool, for example, ETH BTC, which means that every time someone swaps from ETH to BTC and vice versa, the liquidity providers get 0.3% of this swap, of this trade. Here, the TVL basically shows you how much money is added to this liquidity pool. This is the volume in the 24 hours. As you can see, it stands on 0 because it's not updated, as well as the volume for the last 7 days. And this is where the opportunities are, because it's pretty new pools that don't have data and the opportunity is there. You will see in a second how. So unlike version 2 in Uniswap version 2, in version 3, we have something called concentrated liquidity, which means that you set a price range. When you provide, let's say, liquidity for Bitcoin and stable coins, let's say USDT or USDC, you put a range where your liquidity will be used. For example, if we look at the chart of Bitcoin in the last month, we can see that the price chart of Bitcoin is going between 60 to 70K most of the time. So a good price range would be from 60 to 70K. If you want to provide liquidity of USDT and Bitcoin and be always in the range, so your money is always working, you want to make sure that the range makes sense and based on the historical information. So you can see if you want it to last longer, you can take a look at the last 3 months and you can see that it's between 40 to 70K. So you can set your range a bit bigger, but it means that you're going to get less fees because your liquidity will be distributed along all this range. So let's say you provided a liquidity on the range between 60 to 70K Bitcoin and USDT. What happens when the price of Bitcoin rises above 70K? It means that you're going to get out of range. So your liquidity is not working anymore and all your assets will be converted to the less performing asset. Since Bitcoin went up, the less performing asset is stablecoin. So all your money will be converted to USDT. Same works to the other direction. So if Bitcoin goes below 60K, which is the lower range, all your money will be converted to Bitcoin, right? Because this is the less performing asset. Bitcoin decreased in price, so you'll be left only with Bitcoins. So it's important to understand that when you provide liquidity in Uniswap for 2 tokens and you set this range, when you get out of the range, 2 things happen. First, all your assets are being converted to the less performing range. And second, your assets are not generating fees anymore because your liquidity is out of range. It doesn't mean that you cannot withdraw the liquidity. You can always withdraw the liquidity based on the assets that you have. But it just means that it's not going to work for you. It's not going to print money based on those fees. Now that you understand the basics, let's explore this strategy. So as you can see over here, we have a liquidity pool of USDT and Bitcoin 0.3%. This is the liquidity pool in Uniswap version 3 on BNB chain, Binance Smart Chain. Now, why did I pick Uniswap? Because I told you I'm PTSD'd and I'm only choosing battle-tested protocols that are here for a while. Uniswap is one of the biggest DeFi protocols. It's, as far as I know, it never got hacked. Of course, anything in this video is a financial advice. You do your own due diligence and your own risk assessment, but I know that Uniswap is quite a protocol that you can rely on. And also Binance Chain is a chain that you can rely on, unlike Phantom that multi-chain got hacked and a lot of money was stolen. It never happened in BNB chain. It doesn't mean that it won't happen in the future, but at the point, observing the history, all good with Uniswap and BNB chain. So this exact pool right there is 0.3% fee pool, which means that every swap that is happening between USDT and BTCB, and if you provide liquidity to USDT BTCB, you will get 0.3% of this swap. So if someone buys Bitcoin with $1,000, you're going to get the liquidity provider $3 out of it. And we consider the TVL is quite low, 640K. Now here we don't have the volume. So how can we know how much APR, how much return we're going to make based on the volume? The solution is going to DEX Screener. DEX Screener is an awesome website that shows you a lot of decentralized exchanges and a lot of interesting information about the pairs. So I go to DEX Screener and I go here to BSC, Binance Smart Chain, and I filter here Uniswap. So this is how I found this opportunity. I went to BSC and then Uniswap. Then I sort all the pairs by volume so I can see which pairs generate the most amount of fees. And here we found our pair. So this is our pair over here, number 7, BTCB, USDT, 500K volume in the last 24 hours and liquidity 650K. So we can go back to Uniswap and we find it here. It's the same pair with 650K. And now we're going to calculate how much fees you're going to make when you provide liquidity to this pair. We're going to take the volume in the last 24 hours, which is 500K. So we have here, it's actually more than 500K. It's 512K. So 512. And we're going to multiply it from this volume, what the fee was. So it's 0.3%. So we multiply it by 0.003. This is 0.3% fees. So these are the fees that were generated today in this pair, $1,500, right? Now this fee is being distributed through all the liquidity providers. Now we have here 650K liquidity is being provided. So we need to divide this number by 650K. And then we get 0.002%, which is 0.23% today alone. If we want to get the daily return, the APR, then we multiply it by 356 days, which leaves us with 84.1% yearly return on Bitcoin. So this is how we calculate the annual percentage yield, the APR. And now you might say, wait. But I'm not making this APR on Bitcoin. I'm making this APR on Bitcoin and USDT. And also I have the risk that all my Bitcoin will be transformed into USDT, right? Because if Bitcoin raises in price, and we set the range between 60 to 70K, if it goes above 70K, we will be left with no Bitcoin, but only with USDT. And you're absolutely right. And this is the catch. And let's see how we can hedge this catch. Now, this strategy works only with this approach that I'm going to explain right now. Now I want you to look at this Uniswap version T concentrated liquidity as limit orders. So your upper range, let's say 70K per Bitcoin, is your sell order. Okay, let's say you want to buy Bitcoin, you want to trade in Bitcoin, you want to buy Bitcoin at 60K. When it goes to 60K, you want to buy with $10,000 Bitcoin. When it goes to 70K, you want to sell all your Bitcoin to take profits. So this is not kind of long-term hodl Bitcoin strategy. It's kind of putting limit orders, buys and sell in certain prices. And meanwhile, it's in this range, your money is making more money, generating fees. So instead of putting limit orders, buy and sell orders, buy at 60K, sell on 70K, you're just going to provide liquidity of USDT and Bitcoin, put these ranges. So when Bitcoin goes above 70K, all your Bitcoin is being sold to USDT. When it goes below 60K, all your USDT is used to buy Bitcoins. And meanwhile, it's between this range of 60 to 70K, your USDT and Bitcoin are generating fees, are generating yield for you. To be precise, 84% a year, which is around, I guess, 7% a month, which is incredibly crazy on Bitcoin and stablecoin. And this is exactly what I did this morning. I just took $2,000 and I wanted to gamble on Bitcoin price. Okay. It's not my hodl Bitcoin value. It's not my hodl Ethereum value. I just took $2,000 and I told Uniswap version 3 that if Bitcoin goes below 60K, I want to buy with all these $2,000 Bitcoin. And if it goes above 70K, I want to sell all this Bitcoin to USDT. And meanwhile, it's in this range. I want you to generate fees. And this is exactly what I did today. And you can see it in the picture right now on the screen. And literally since this morning, it's around 12 hours, I generated $5.5 in transaction fees. This is crazy, insane. I generated those fees in Bitcoin and USDT. And if you take this calculator and you do $5.5 in 12 hours, let's multiply it by 2 to see the daily return. Let's say $11 a day divided by $2,000, 0.55% a day, even better than the 84% that we calculated. 0.55% a day. If we multiply it by 30 days, it's 16.5% a month. This is crazy, guys. It's crazy. You're putting this limit order 60 to 70K, and meanwhile it's in this range, your Bitcoin and USDT are generating for you 16.5% a month. So you put $1,000, you're making $160 a month. This is crazy. You're putting 10K, you're making 1.6K a month. This is the rent, right? You put 10K and you just pay your rent, and you put your buy and sell order in place. So you take profit when it goes above 70K, you buy if it goes below 60K. And this is just mind-blowing strategies. You can generate amazing yields. Now, if this was mind-blowing, I want you to take a look at these farms on PancakeSwap on Arbitrum 1. Currently, if USDT is giving 388% APR. This is ridiculous, guys. And this APR is 308% farm APR and 79% liquidity provision fees APR. So you get on top of that K commissions, and it's completely crazy. So if you take 3092% divided by 365%, it's like almost 1.1% a day. This is ridiculous, guys. This is ridiculous. 1.1% a day, 30% a month. So you can do these exact strategy in USDT and ETH. So you can put a range. Let's say I'm going to buy Ether in 3K and sell it in 4K. And meanwhile, it's in this range. It's going to generate fees for me and make 1% a day in your capital. This is ridiculously insane. And yeah, I just wanted to share with you this strategy, how I'm approaching DeFi right now, these days, how I'm making money with my money, how my capital is printing more capital that is allowing me to live this lifestyle and pay for rent and pay for expenses and everything. And this is complete completely incredible. Now, I'm gonna make more tutorials on this channel of technically how to create those positions, how to interact with Uniswap, with PancakeSwap, with lending protocols, and share more amazing strategies and risk strategies of how I deploy my capital into this protocol, how I do risk assessment before I deploy capital into DeFi protocol, how do I assess all the risks. So if you want to learn more, stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, and if you enjoyed this video, smash this like button. Thank you so much. Feel free to ask questions in the comment below, and I will see you in the next tutorial. Bye bye.